Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to go ahead and do my review video on My Little Pony Season 7, Episode 24. And wow, I know I said this in my last review video, but I cannot believe we're already this far into the season. And it's almost over, unfortunately. But anyway, so in this video, it first starts off with Starlight waiting for Sunburst at the train station. And it was nice to see Starlight reunite with Sunburst again. However, at one point he started talking about antiques, and he also brought along a whole lot of bags and luggage, which I honestly don't see why he needed to bring all that stuff. Kind of makes me think of Rarity when she goes to different places bringing a bunch of stuff. But anyway, and so in the next scene, Sunburst was showing Starlight the antiques around Ponyville, which is interesting because this is the first time we see him in Ponyville. And then at one point, Twilight had arrived as well to look at the antiques as well. However, Starlight honestly wasn't interested, and she kind of felt disappointed as well. And so then in the next scene, they met back up in the castle, and yet Sunburst was still hanging out with Twilight more. But I must say, some of the things that they found were pretty interesting, though. However, the next thing they decided to do was play a board game that was called like Dragon Den, and it looked really cool. It had this little toy volcano marble like ball that popped out of it too. And so then next in the next scene you see Sunburst getting settled in. That's where Starlight decided to meet back up to check in with Sunburst in the room. And I'm not surprised that Sunburst gets along with Twilight really well, since they're both really into magic and are and do studies on it too. But then, and so the next morning, Starlight went into the room. Sunburst slept in to check up on him again. But here's the funny thing that happened here in this scene. So Sunburst didn't want Starlight looking at him since he wasn't dressed, but he's a pony. So that's why that part was kind of funny to me. But anyway, so then in the next scene they went over to an apple tree at Sweet Apple Acres because they used to drink a lot of apple juice when they were younger, which makes sense for kids to do. And then at one point they came across Trixie as well, which was nice to see a good amount of unicorns in this episode, and it makes sense as well. And so in the next scene, Trixie decided to perform another magic trick, but apparently she ended up in a bunch of chains. And so apparently Sunburst started hanging out with Trixie now, which sounds interesting for this episode. And so in the next scene, Sunburst and Starlight went to the place where I'm sorry, it just sounds a little funny how I've been saying in the next scene a lot. But anyway, so Starlight went to the place where Pinkie made copies of herself way back from season 3, and it was interesting to see them go there. Starlight wanted to go there to get some help on spending time with Sunburst more, like if Starlight made duplicates of herself. But then at one point they came across Maud there, and I honestly don't think that would have been a good idea for Starlight to do that. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been bad as Pinkie's case, but still. And where they were at was actually a pretty interesting place to find her. And that's where Sunburst got caught chatting with Maud as well and hanging out with her more too. And so that's where Starlight went back to Twilight's castle to meet back up with her, which would make sense for her to do that with the position that she was put in this episode. And from there, she addressed her situation to Twilight, and apparently she ended up helping Starlight with her situation, which was nice to see Twilight do, and also she is the Princess of Friendship after all. And so in the next scene, Sunburst met back in the castle as well, and it, oh, sorry, my light's been doing that a lot lately in my room. But anyway, and that's also where Starlight turned them both into foals, and she also put them in. She also put them in the same room where they played that one game, and they hung out in the same place where they hung out with. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a bit, but so she did this to help improve spending their time together. And I must say, Starlight looks so freaking cute as a filly. And this was an interesting way to help Starlight spend more time with Sunburst. However, it didn't quite work out well, but it was also a matter of what Sunburst and Starlight had in common. And so Sunburst had to get some information on that to help out on Starlight's part, which was a great thing for Sunburst to do to help out Starlight. And so later on in this episode, Trixie made that dragon game from earlier look bigger, and it looked really cool, and to see how they played it too. And then in the last scene, they finally met back at the train station for Sunburst to head home. And it was great to see Sunburst hang out with a lot of mares in this episode. And it was also great seeing Starlight hang out with all her friends in this episode too. So overall, I thought this was a pretty good episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Alright, thanks guys. Alright, bye.